On today's episode of Wheelhouse Garage, I'm working on the 57 Triumph TR6 Desert Sled. Now, if you remember back in April at the Biltwell race, I had a few problems. One was that foot peg shearing off. The other one I had was that right here at the adjuster for the throttle cable, the ferrules got pinched because this throttle cable is too short and it's in a dangerous location right here. So what happened is this came around here and pinched it off, causing it to be pretty darn sticky and get stuck sometimes with the throttle open. Pretty sketch. So today we're going to remedy that. I'm going to have a new routing position for the cable. I'm going to make it longer and I'm going to custom make the cable. Now, I've only done that once before, and it was for a kind of inconsequential compression release, so not that big a deal. This is a little bit bigger deal, but it's something that I want to get good at, so I figured it would be a good thing to share with you guys today. And I'm also going to share a little desert sled trick that they used to do back in the day with regards to throttle cables. Now, it's another hot one today. We're still in this heat wave, 107 today. But luckily I got a Lagunitas daytime IPA to keep me cool. Okay, let's get out the supplies we need, get this throttle housing taken off, get the top of the carburetor taken off, and we'll get started. So I noticed a little bit of scoring on the carburetor slide here, and I just took this clean paper towel and wiped it on the inside. I've got a little bit of dirt in there, so that tells me there's some dirt escaping through this old Webco air filter. It's probably my fault for trying to be a cool guy and run an old paper air filter to be period correct. I should upgrade that to a K&N if nothing else. I'm also going to check the hose clamp connections and make sure I haven't left any opportunities for air to suck in dirt, get to this carburetor here. But you know, it's pretty minimal, so I think we found it in time. Just want to address it while we're here before too much gets sucked in there. We don't want that. Alright, I'm going to take the throttle housing off, but before I do, check out this awesome leather thumb protector. It's supposed to help keep the, or I guess this side, help keep the blister from forming on this thumb after you've been motoring through the desert for 3 hours. So that's what this is for. I love that thing so much. It's a real Webco vintage part. Puts a smile on your face every time you see it. Alright, now I've got the whole cable assembly out, and I'm going to go to the parts drawer next and make sure I have each individual piece to make a longer version of this. Okay, so I have this little end piece here. I'm gonna go with a little bit different style on this because it fits perfectly in the top of that little adjuster there. So I'm gonna go with that style there, and look at this one actually broke. So that's good that we're replacing that. I have the new housing here, the new cable. I have two new ferrules right here. This will go like this will go like that. I'm going to reuse this adjuster, and then sliding over here I've got a new ferrule as well, and then we're going to reuse this little angled piece. Now here I actually have a problem. I do not have this piece, so my thoughts are I am going to try to heat this up, melt the solder, and remove it so I can apply it to the new cable, or I do have a ball end which may very well fit in there and work just fine. But I'm going to try to melt the old one off first, see how that goes. One last thing I do before I cut this cable and harvest some of these parts is pull the cable all the way through and measure the distance from here to here. We could call it run out maybe, because this distance works and we need to know how much longer the new cable needs to be compared to the housing. We can get that answer right here. So I'm gonna measure that first. Okay, so now I need to estimate the length of the new cable, and I'll show you how I'd like to route it. I want to go high. I've seen enough pictures and enough buddies of mine run them high that I believe it is the way. So we'll start with that, and then it's gonna run down. Well, that's probably pretty darn close. Let's compare that to the old one just for giggles. I forgot I had cut the cable, but I was able to measure the housing so it's still laying in the same spot. It's about 7 inches longer. So 6, 7 inches. I think that's a good place to start, so I'll go ahead and cut this. All right, let's see if I can extract this little fitting here. Nice. Okay, so we can reuse that. Okay, so I have frayed the end of the new cable, cleaned this up with some acetone, and I've got it sitting exactly where I want it to be. So I'm going to add some flux. I've got some solder here. It's a special kind. I can't remember what kind, but it's special. Now, if you're looking at this thinking, man, that doesn't look that good, I gotta say, I'm with you. But I don't know what to tell you other than the fact that it is wicking up all the way through, and by the time I'm done, I'm ending up with a really strong bond. So I guess it's okay. Okay, so now I've got my throttle housing more or less where I want it, and I have the whole cable, exactly how it's going to be, hooked up all the way to this bend. Now, I'm going to take the housing and slide it on. Alright, put that ferrule on, slide that over. That fits in that L housing perfectly. Okay, so if you remember where the adjuster was last time, it was way down here. I don't like that. I would like it up here where you can adjust the other hand controls. So I am just gonna say that I want to put it, got a little paint pen, I'm gonna put it right here. All right, so here's an old desert sled trick. So back in the day, in order to protect the cables from getting like hung up on branches and ripped for housings, they would take fuel line and run it over the top of the cables. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna take some fuel line and we're gonna slide it over to give it some extra protection. Okay, so now we have the first section done with the fuel line protecting it. I've got the adjuster on. And I can take the next section. Okay, that's gonna sit like that, perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and add some fuel line to this section also, from about here to here where it's gonna go into the tank. That should be good. Seems like it's a little silly, but it's fun, and it's a cool period correct thing. Some people don't notice it. So we'll do it. you guys. We have a better routing cable. We have a protected cable running nice and smooth. Gotta love it. This thing is one step closer to getting back on the trail, which I cannot wait to do. Other than that, I think that's it for today. It took quite a while, like 3 hours to get that done, but I did have an errand to do, and you know, it just takes a while when you're doing a new skill. So hopefully this was fun to watch. Maybe by watching this, you're inspired to try making cables on your own. I think you should. I think this is gonna work wonderfully. There's my phone ringing. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and buying shirts. I'll see you next Saturday with a whole new video. Cheers! Thanks so much for watching that video. Be sure to tune in every Saturday morning for more fun and adventures. There's over 30 motorcycles to check out on the Bike and a Beer series, and we now have t-shirts available for sale. Follow along for some epic adventures in the High Sierra on all types of rare and incredible motorcycles. There's a workshop element to this channel too, as I do a lot of my own mechanical work. I'll share all the tips and tricks I've learned, show you all the tools I use to get it done, and there'll be some exciting new products to promote as well. So join in every Saturday morning, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. Thanks.